Hi, you guys. My name is Faye, and I need a vacation, and I think you do too. So let's distract ourselves with some reality TV nonsense. So today we're going to be catching up with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We are going to be discussing episodes 11 and 12. So let's just jump right on in. Episode 11 opens with the ladies heading to Mary's lunch. Remember, they had spent the morning at her beautiful church service, which they all enjoyed, and during which Mary prayed for the Lord to give Lisa a sound mind. And the most hilarious thing is that she was absolutely serious. Like, she was not even just trying to be shady. Like, she was really praying for that girl. Pretty much as soon as the ladies sit down and Mary has gotten out a few words, Heather hijacks her lunch to once again lead the charge against Meredith and Lisa. She is telling them that she holds them both equally responsible for what happened allegedly during the plane between Meredith and Brittany. I think that's just crazy. Like I said in my last review, I don't know why Lisa is expected to control another grown woman. Like, I don't get why she is held responsible for Meredith's actions. Like, if anything, this issue is between Meredith and Brittany. So that's bizarre to me. And also, Heather, why are you bringing this up when Brittany isn't even there? Of course, Meredith ends up getting upset and fights back against Heather's accusations, which is when Heather literally looks at her and tells her that she has lost the right to her feelings as well as the privilege to speak. Heather says that. Like when I tell you, this lady is so just delusional, and the sheer audacity to look at anyone, and tell them they don't have the privilege of speaking or of feeling. Like, who are you, Heather? Mind you, Heather is the same one that lied for 2 seasons about what happened to her eye. Like, you are not the authority on truth. And if Meredith has lost her right to speak and feel, you have lost that right many years ago. So of course, Whitney joins in on the Meredith and Lisa attack. And she says, in her opinion, there are only 3 options. Either Meredith has hatred in her heart, or she has an anger problem, or she is abusing substances. Wow. Like the accusations this woman makes are just crazy to me. In the confessional, Whitney tells us that she's so triggered by Meredith because of her dad. Whitney, you and your little cousin or faux cousin are both drunk so much. Whitney was literally on stage a few weeks ago at BravoCon, just drunk out of her mind. Like, she had to be taken off of the stage at some point. She was drunk giving interviews. Then her cousin friend Heather is the same one who got so drunk off of, I think it was espresso martinis, that she was sitting on the Sprinter van peeing herself while she was throwing up. Like, and these 2 are the ones to accuse Meredith of having an issue with substances. The hypocrisy is mind-boggling. Oh, and let's not forget Miss Brittany herself. We just saw her on the boat literally throwing up and then going to drink more tequila. Mind you, none of this triggered Whitney. She's not concerned about her own behavior. She's only triggered by and concerned about Meredith. When I tell you it was so bizarre that lunch, Mary eventually gets involved and she looks at Heather really confused, like, Heather, what are you hurt by? And I was like, exactly. Like, what is your problem? Like, this does not concern you. There's not many interesting things that happened after that in the scene. They just go on. I feel like it's the same issue being regurgitated. So let's move on. We see Heather's redone office. Happy for her, good for you. I don't like it. It's not my taste. I mean, number one, she has carpet like in the room. Like, why is there carpet? Like, you didn't want nice hardwood floors. Like, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me. And also, it just looks very weird. It looks like a house that was staged almost, like an Airbnb. And then the daughter, I believe, asks her where she got the furniture from. And she says that she got everything from Wayfair. And I mean, that made sense the way it looked, but also, and nothing against Wayfair, but it just looked like I said, it just looked like staging furniture in a way. But the main thing is, like, the whole scene just came off like an ad. like this was an advertisement for Wayfair. Like, it's weird. So back to the whole Brittany Meredith plane thing. Brittany's asked about the situation again, and she says that it's the 6th worst thing that ever happened to her, which, like I said before, I find that very bizarre. Like, you're a deadbeat mom, your children don't speak to you, you're in an on and off again relationship with a man at damn near like 60 years old. Like, I don't know, I think she's in her 50s definitely. And, you know, I could go on, but like, that man is humiliating you, dragging you every other week. But that's the 6th worst thing that happened to you. Okay. And like I said before, like, why didn't anyone offer to switch seats with Brittany? And if they didn't offer, why didn't Brittany ask the flight attendants to be seated anywhere else? Like, it just makes no sense. And like Lisa pointed out, the other ladies, since it was first class, were way too far away to even hear and see as much as they are claiming they have, you know, heard and seen. And apparently the producers were also sitting behind Lisa and Meredith. So I don't know. Either there is footage and Bravo's holding on to it for some reason, or there is no footage because it was just a huge over-exaggeration. Like I said, I do believe that Meredith did go off on the plane, but I don't think it was to the level that the other ladies are, you know, claiming it was. So Meredith throws some shade at Brittany. She says that she's a sad specimen, you know, she struggles professionally, she can't hold a relationship, and, you know, she feels bad for her. And that classic Meredith shade, I love it. Like, whoever has been saying that Meredith needs to go is so wrong in my opinion. Like, yes, she can be dry. Yes, she can maybe not have the biggest personal storyline, but we need Meredith on this cast. Like, we need her accent shifts. We need her being activated. Like, we need her engaging. We need her disengaging. Like, we just need Meredith. She is a true housewife. So then we have an entire scene that is dedicated to nothing except Heather and Whitney removing Heather's old mattress from her bedroom and driving it to some place. Like, that's a scene. Like, I can't understand why the production team thought that we needed to see this. So apparently the mattress is still the same mattress that she shared with her ex-husband, which I cannot understand. Like, if it had been me, I would have immediately, you know, threw it out, had it incinerated. Now that probably creates too many toxins, but like, I'm just saying, like, I would not be sleeping on the same mattress I shared with my husband for like even a day, you know. Heather uses this opportunity to once again bring up the only storyline she has ever had, which is surviving Mormonism. And I'm like, girl, this is season 6. Like, we are over it. We are all so over it. Like, come with something else. Like, go away from me with this, Heather. And might I just say, the mattress is absolutely disgusting. When I tell you, it gave me chills just seeing it through the screens. There were so many stains, like brown and yellow and red. Like, it was so dirty. And I cannot fathom that this woman actually like has no shame. Like, she decided of her own free will to put this thing on camera. And not only that, to have Whitney touch it, like, ew, like, it's so nasty. And she slept on that. Like, I almost can't believe it. Like, part of me feels like she kept that mattress like in her garage or something, and she just brought it out like for a stunt. Honestly, she should be ashamed for having a mattress like that. Like, don't you know you're supposed to change it, I believe, every 10 years, like at the minimum? And you're sitting here with a 20-year-old mattress that looks like you just shit and peed and like threw up on it like every single day, you know, twice on Sunday. No, ma'am. We also see a therapy scene between Brittany, the deadbeat, and her beautiful daughter. I was proud of her daughter for, you know, being able to really hold her mother accountable for being a deadbeat. And, you know, I guess it's good that Brittany is willing to put in some effort to fix the relationship, even if it is conveniently happening during filming a reality TV show she's been so desperate to be a part of. Next, we see a scene between Bronwyn, her daughter Gwen, and her mother. You know, that pleasant woman we've gotten to meet. Apparently, Gwen and her mother are about to be moving out in the near future. Gwen does say that she wants to get away from home, spread her wings, have her own experiences, and, you know, the mother also wants to move on. Like, the situation wasn't meant to be permanent. And instead of being so relieved to, have her privacy again and her space, like for her and her husband, and to have, just more time for herself, Bronwyn, like, is upset by this. Like, she does not want her daughter or her mother to move out. And she actually says that she's not ready to be an adult by herself yet. And she just seems so sad, so unhappy. And that, to me, is just another in a long line of red flags regarding Bronwyn's and Todd's marriage, because I don't know, I feel like you shouldn't need a buffer between you. Like, you shouldn't need other people to be in your marital home for you to be happy. Like, you shouldn't be so lonely, even though you are supposedly married to the love of your life. And Bronwyn even makes a joke about how she wouldn't be too unhappy if both her daughter and her mother broke both their legs and she had to take care of them. I mean, it was creepy, if you ask me. What is funny, though, is that the three of them are sitting there and they both have the exact same hairstyle. It's like 3 generations of bobs. And I always wonder, like, was that like on purpose? Like, did they sit there and be like, yeah, I really like my mom's hairstyle, I want to wear that too? Or is it like something unconscious that just happened and they're not even noticing that they're all sitting there with the same hairstyle? Like, I don't know. That's funny to me. And mind you, they all look really good with it too, like not hating at all. In the last scene, Meredith and Brittany do finally meet up and talk it out. Brittany does apologize for being mean and evil by bringing up that obscure TikTok about Meredith's marriage and bringing it to filming. Meredith does apologize for having hurt Brittany's feelings and for her having to hear what she said to Lisa. Brittany accepts, and so does Meredith, and we can finally move on. And I do have to say, for Brittany to have claimed that Meredith shook her seat so hard that wine went all over her, that she was pulling her hair, just like raging at her for 6 hours, she accepted that apology pretty quickly. Like I said, I just don't think it was all that. So that was episode 11. Let's continue to episode 12. So we start the episode with Bronwyn picking up her husband from the airport. She's in another costume, a sloth costume this time. And I've said this before, but it just seems like Bronwyn and Todd have such a daddy-daughter relationship. She's like, and can you guess what I am today? He's just like humoring her. I think that's the best word to describe his behavior towards Bronwyn. Like, he's humoring her. He's like, well, you look like a sloth. And she's like, yeah, I'm a sloth. And I don't know, like, it's weird. They head home, and in the car, Bronwyn tells Todd about this spill the tea Boston party she wants to have with the ladies. And Todd, for once, is actually making sense when he says that all the ladies at this point, including his wife, have shit on one another and they all just need to apologize and kumbaya. And I do have to say, he's also doing a semi-good job at pretending that he cares about any of this stuff. It was refreshing, I have to say. After that, we see Whitney and her husband, Justin. Whitney is chilling outside on the porch, and then Justin comes up, and the first thing I thought was, man, his veneers are so white. Like, I don't know why people go so overboard. I don't know why dentists don't tell these people to, keep it somewhat natural. Like, it's crazy to me. Anyway, Whitney and Justin talk about their failed business, which is Whitney's Wild Rose Beauty. And it's really confusing. I feel like I need a breakdown from the beginning of the end of Wild Rose Beauty, like what happened. Because Brittany does finally admit that the company was a MLM scheme in a way. And she's complaining about that to him and saying that she was just about to get it away from being an MLM and getting it into stores. But then she also blames Justin because she feels like he never showed an interest in her company. To her mind, once he finally did start believing in her company, he and the other people, I don't know who they are. She keeps seeing they. Well, she says you all. So she is including Justin, but they flashed numbers in front of her face, and she felt like she didn't have a choice but to agree. And she also says that she trusts Justin so much, and they I guess, pushed her to merge the company into other entity. Like I said, she does not really go into that. But then the business failed, and now she resents him and is blaming him, which I think is so weird because like during this season, hasn't she said that she blames herself and that she made a mistake and that she feels bad for losing all their money once again? But maybe I must have misheard that or misinterpreted, because now she's saying, hey, Justin, it's your fault. I shouldn't have trusted you. I don't know. It's just very strange. But she says she's fighting for Wild Rose Beauty, like she's fighting to essentially get the brand back and the inventory, the name, the rights, blah, blah. We flash to Heather. Her and her daughter are decorating her other daughter's room. Like they're throwing her a bed party. It's really cute because she's going off to college too. And Heather bought all these things like streamers and bedspreads, and they have t-shirts, and everything is just branded with the university the daughter's going to. And I do have to say, like, even though I don't see it for Heather, that really was very cute. We see Bronwyn and her mother, and I love this scene. So apparently there was a law passed in Utah stating that no public building may display a pride flag. So Bronwyn went on her Instagram and was like, hey guys, let's make sure every non-public building is sporting a pride flag. Like anyone who wants one, I will buy it, I will send it to you. And she follows through, and I love that. She's sitting there with her mother even, putting the flags in the envelopes, addressing them, and I think that's just a really cool thing to do. Like, I love that for her. Other than that, this is like a very weird scene between Bronwyn and her mother. It feels like Bronwyn's mom is finally nice to her. She's like, yeah, you shouldn't care so much about what other people think, and you're doing a good thing or whatever. And then Bronwyn's like, yeah, well, I really care what you think, and I really want to please you. And then the mother's like, well, yeah, to a certain extent, you should care. And I was like, and there it is. She does, however, say some nice things to Bronwyn during the course of the scene. She tells her that she is proud of her and that she's been a great mom for Gwen, and that Gwen is so well-rounded, and she gets that all from Bronwyn. And she does acknowledge that she doesn't really know how to express love or pride, that her parents were the same way, and for some reason she decided to be that way as well with her daughter, but that she can see that Bronwyn is trying to do it differently, and that's good for her. So she did say some really nice things, but I don't know, she just lost me after that scene like a couple episodes ago. Like, I can just not look at her in a positive way. And I just feel like even though she was saying nice things, like she still had this nasty like look on her face. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just her face. Like, it's just an active bitch face 24/7. Excuse my French. So the day of Bronwyn's spill the Boston Tea Party arrives. She wanted everyone to dress like, I guess, pioneers or like colonialists, whatever. And it's so funny. Lisa and Meredith show up together, and I just love how the both of them, especially Lisa, never go for these tacky costumes. Like Lisa, like the most she did was like a pair of black pants, and she was wearing like a white ruffled shirt, and she looked really good. But then you have Meredith, who was wearing a like also ruffled shirt, but oh my god, like it looked so bad in my opinion. Sorry, Meredith. They do all have to put on tacky wigs though, like those white curly wigs. So anyway, on the way to the party, Whitney, Brittany, and Heather are in a car together. Brittany tells them about her making up with Meredith. As you can imagine, the both of them are not excited about this. Like, they pretended that they were only concerned for Brittany and upset for Brittany. But now that Brittany is actually okay with the situation, she feels like she can move on. Her and Meredith are good. What do you know? Now they have an issue. They feel like Meredith's apology wasn't good enough, and she should still apologize to the group. Man, these ladies really have to move on. Like, I'm so over it. So the location for Bronwyn's party was very strange to me. It seemed like it was in someone's garage. Then from another angle, it looked like a storage space. Then when Mary walked in and we saw a different shot, it looked like a hardware store. Like, what is going on? Where are we? It was just really dark. I mean, she had some fun decoration set up, but I was not loving it. I have to say, it really seemed like they were in the basement. There was food. Some of it looked pretty nice. However, I did see some aluminum foil, which I didn't appreciate. Then Whitney said she didn't even see any plates, but there were plates. There were plates, but I don't know, just that was weird as well. So of course, Bronwyn had to come up with a shady game. She gives the ladies these big boxes, like really big parcels, like, wow, this does not come across on camera, like bigger than my head, I would say. And supposedly they contain tea, and they are supposed to write the name of the person they have spilled tea about on that box, and then say the tea and take the tea box and dump it out in the river. Mind you, I thought they were actually close to a harbor, and that was why everything was looking so industrial factory-like, and that they would dump something in the water. And I was like, oh my God, is that legal? Like, I don't know. But no, she just had like this plastic blue tarp set up to simulate the river, and I don't even know if there was tea in those boxes. None of the ladies even opened the box. Like, it was weird. Like, I didn't like it. Angie, of course, picks Lisa and brings up Lisa announcing that she has bought a horse, and then apparently Angie heard she didn't buy a horse. And yeah, I guess we're supposed to care about that. Like, Lisa was even like, she didn't even really get upset. Like, she was just like confused, like. And then they showed a flashback scene to where they talked about that. We hadn't even seen it. And Lisa even then was like, I don't know why this is such a big thing. Like, I have a horse. Like, you know, let's move on. Brittany uses this opportunity to bring up Jared once again. Like, nobody cares. Bronwyn then uses her tea box to apologize to Whitney for going to Meredith and telling her what Whitney told her about the plane ride. But it doesn't go quite the way I imagined. I mean, Whitney doesn't immediately accept the apology. Like, she still wants to get her digs in. And she's like, well, why would you even do that? You didn't give me a chance to speak to Meredith myself. You made me look bad. And then Bronwyn, who's actually like, she came from an apologetic place, she's now like backpedaling, like, well, if you didn't want her to know about it, you shouldn't have said anything behind her back in the first place. Like, kind of halfway retracting the apology. She's like, this is between you two. Okay. And Bronwyn tells Whitney she should have spoken to Meredith directly, which is when Whitney calls Meredith a belligerent woman. She's like, so you're telling me I should have called a belligerent woman? No way. Of course, Meredith is tired of this whole narrative and calls Whitney a liar, which really upsets Whitney, who is so deluded that she actually believes that she is truthful to a fault and she's this honest person. Even though Whitney is like the biggest liar, and right after her there's Heather, or maybe they're at the same level. Whitney, in fact, is so upset about Meredith calling her a liar that she just straight up calls her an alcoholic and a pill popper. She's like, oh yeah? You really want to go there? Alcoholic? Pill popper? I thought we were gonna get another Meredith crash out, but unfortunately, or fortunately, you know, I don't like my girls too upset. We didn't. Meredith just got up and brought the ladies presents. And wouldn't you know it, the presents contained not only her signature, Meredith Marks caviar, but they also contained drug tests. And she says, all you ladies making these horrible accusations about me should take the test. And she does admit to having alcohol every now and then, to having a few gummies, but she says she's very honest about what she does. And obviously, she primarily wants Whitney to take the test because Whitney is the main person. Like, she just called her pill popper and an alcoholic. But Whitney, however, does not want to take the test for some reason. I wonder why. She does, however, say that she recognizes the behaviors Meredith displays and that in her experience, such behavior is fueled by drugs and alcohol. Again, Whitney, like, she's making these very dangerous, libelous accusations. Like, it's just not okay. All these ladies drink. All these ladies like to have a good time. We have seen pretty much all of them except Mary drunk at one point or another. I remember Whitney especially, like, she used to be drunk so much that Mary would tell her, like, talk to me when you're sober. Like, are you ever going to be sober, bobblehead? Lisa chimes in to defend Meredith, which I really appreciate. Like, these ladies love to say how Lisa is such a bad friend. Like, she only expects people to defend her, but she never stands up for anyone. And she just has shown time and time again that that is not true. She has always defended Angie back when they were friends. And she's also always defended Meredith, like from the very beginning. And just like now, she says that Whitney is weaponizing her experiences against Meredith. And that is completely true. She's using the whole, well, my daddy is a crackhead, so I can recognize you're one. Like, obviously, kidding. He wasn't a crackhead. I don't think he did crack. Whatever his issues were, she's using her experiences with those to just project on Meredith, in my opinion. Heather has to get in on the situation because not a moment can go by without Heather's obnoxious voice being heard. She's upset at Meredith again because, I don't know, she says Meredith is calling her a liar by not admitting that she, crashed out on the plane. And she also says that Meredith told her their friendship is over if she's friends with Brittany, whatever. And then she goes, "Do you believe I lie?" And she's like really offended by that. Like, Heather, yes, we believe you lie. Like, you are a liar. Again, like, you only have to bring up the black eye for that to be proven true. So she's screaming and crying. Like, it seems so fake. And she's like yelling at Meredith, "I'm upset because of what you did." Like, again, and Brittany's just sitting there like, just like happy, not bothered. Like, you would think that Meredith freaked out on Heather and not Brittany. Like, you can just tell that this entire incident was just used to gang up on Meredith and Lisa and to hopefully push them out. Like how are you more upset than the alleged victim? Then Heather brings up Mormonism once again. She's like, "I'm not going to be gaslit by the Mormons, and I'm definitely not going to be gaslit by you." She then demands an apology from Meredith. Like, she is dead set on Meredith admitting that she acted the way they say she acted, and for apologizing for that. And Meredith is just like, "Well, I don't believe that there's going to be any resolution today. We should move on." And I was just like, yes, Meredith, give her nothing. After that, they come up with amendments for the group. Yeah, it's pretty standard stuff. Anyway, that was it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really am trying to grow my channel to find a community of like-minded people, and I hope that could be you. So, it's free. Doesn't cost anything. Anyway, enough begging. Thank you, like I said, for watching. I hope to see you in my next video and on our next vacation. Until then, have a great day. Bye.